Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can create your own blog. It's something that I've actually started doing recently. I'm interested obviously in personal development, if you've seen any of my other videos. And so I've now decided to create my own blog as well. Now, before you even create a blog, you need to think about, first of all, why you're actually doing it. First of all, it's not something which you can actually start and in my opinion, expect to obviously start making and earning a lot of money from right away. It does take time. It's something, but it is something that you can build on. Now, for me, there's many things that I could have actually done my blog about. But I chose, like my YouTube channel, to do personal development. It's something which I'm very interested in, and that's obviously why I've actually chose to actually do it. Now, you're probably thinking, why should you even begin to start writing a blog? Because it is work, it is something which you've got to enjoy doing. If you don't like writing, then obviously it ain't going to be for you. But if it's something which you enjoy doing, it's very fulfilling, if you like, to have your own platform, if you like, on a given subject. Now, for me, I've got to admit, I was a little bit hesitant when I first decided to do it, because I actually thought, well, who's going to read it? Who's going to want to read about what I have obviously written? But the truth of the matter is that there's millions or there's billions of people on the internet that are looking for information. So it's something which anyone can do. I really looked into it before I actually started doing it, as to whether or not I had to obviously have an English degree, or whether, I had to have a really high level of competence. But the more I looked into it, the more I realised that it's really a blog is just your opinion. Yeah, it hasn't got to be. It's not set in stone what you want to write about, but it's got to be something which you, if you like, are passionate about, and at the same time, it's got to be something which you're interested in. If you're not interested in, obviously, and really interested in what it is you're going to be writing about, you won't pursue it over the long term. That's for sure. Now, if you're thinking about, what can you write about? What can you actually write about? Well, for me, I started thinking about, well, what am I interested in? What are my interests? At the minute, I've been interested the last 3 years in bettering myself. It's still a struggle. There ain't no easy way to, if you like, get rich and earn loads of money overnight. But becoming better, getting greater education, these are all ways which, over the long term, are going to actually pay good, great dividends. So for me, if you're thinking about writing a blog, the first thing I would say is, well, what is it you want to achieve from doing it? Like I said at the start, if you want to earn loads of money overnight, I don't honestly believe it's going to happen. But if you want to put some sort of a mark, if you want to write about something which you're interested in, it might be that you like fishing, it might be that you like cooking, it might be that you like tennis, whatever it is, you can write about it. You can choose to create content and put it online, and you'll be amazed at the people that will read it. I've now done about I think it was 20 articles on my blog. I've done 20 articles all on different subjects, and the stuff I've been writing, and I've only been doing it for about 6 weeks now, is already being indexed by Google. And if you tap in colintalks.co.uk, or if you tap in Colin's personal development, it's actually coming up in Google. It's amazing, because what Google want is, they want you, whoever you are, to write good content. Yeah. So if you're sitting at home now thinking, can I do this? The answer is yes, you can. Definitely, 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 definitely. If you write one article and then you leave it a month and then you write another one, chances are no one's going to see it. Yeah. But if you think of a topic which and it hasn't got to be a major topic of major interest, it's just got to be something which you're passionate about, and you write about it, people over a period of time will find your content. Just like you found my video on YouTube. It's no different, yeah? It does take time, yeah, but it is possible. So in thinking about what it is you want to, if you are serious about doing a blog and you do actually want to obviously pursue this sort of potential income as well, because that's why I'm doing it. I'm looking at it, it's something I'm interested in, but I'm also looking at it over the long term as a possible way of creating some sort of second income, and obviously helping me build my YouTube channel, because I'm linking to my channel in my blog, and obviously this is obviously how you do it, but it does take time. But first of all, back to obviously what your blog's going to be about. Think if someone said to you tomorrow, what if you could do one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Now you might turn around, like I said earlier, you might turn around and say, well, I love fishing, or I love table tennis. I really like table tennis. Whatever it is, that is what you need to write your blog about. Yeah, that is what you need to write about. It's no good picking a topic which you think everyone's going to be searching for, and that's the topic you can earn the most money in, because your blog, the people that read your writing, that read your articles, I honestly believe that will come across in your content. If you write about something which you know something about, and again, you haven't got to be highly qualified to actually write content, because it's your take on that specific subject, then you can write about it. But it's definitely a good thing to write about something which you're really interested in. Yeah. Now, if you've seen my my other videos on my channel, you know that I obviously am really interested in personal development. So that's what I've called my blog is basically it's Colin's Personal Development, but my actual link is www.colintalks.co.uk. Now if you go to that, you'll go to my blog, and it's primarily based on personal development. But because I've always, well, ever since the age of about 10, suffered with obsessive compulsive disorder, I've also wrote a few articles about my OCD and about how it affects me. And I'm gradually going to introduce more of that into my blog. I have thought about starting a second blog, but obviously you want to try and make one blog really good first, and then you can obviously potentially think about a second blog, yeah, or website, whatever you want to call it, yeah. But for me, when I was first doing it, I first started writing articles, and I started thinking, well, what, obviously I'm doing videos on motivation, videos on how to try and move forward, and obviously this is something which I really studied a lot myself, and that's why I'm started doing videos about it. I feel that I've got something to offer, and I've started writing about these things because it does genuinely interest me. But I'm thinking, well, should I do things about my health and perhaps my life, how I've suffered with my OCD, how I've tried to get over it, how I've struggled with it, what I did to get out of it. These are all things which you can write about, yeah. And you need to remember as well, and I actually think this is a good thing, is that you don't know when you're actually writing who's going to read that, and that it may be of help to somebody. And that in itself is a good enough reason to start putting your fingers on the keyboard. It's not difficult to write a blog. I've done mine in WordPress. It's very simple. You haven't got to be a web designer. I don't really know anything about web design, but I can get around a WordPress website. I know how to basically use the different platforms within WordPress to create my site, yeah. And what's my ultimate goal? Yeah, my ultimate goal is to hopefully have a website that is going to be getting lots of traffic, and that hopefully will help my YouTube channel, and it will help but as well, and if you like, more importantly, help me grow as a person, because ignorance is costing people a fortune. I honestly believe that. If you believe if there's one thing that I would say to someone to do, you know, with regards to their personal development, it would be to read more. Yeah, is to read more, because if you read, you know, you're learning, and if you're learning, you're growing. If you're growing, you know, you can potentially become whoever you want to be. So don't just look, if you are thinking about doing a blog and you're looking at it from a point of view that you want to earn loads of money at it, you know, this I don't think will happen overnight. It's definitely something which you can actually earn money from. I've watched videos on YouTube about people that have created blogs. I watched one the other day, a husband and wife team. You know, they're earning $50,000 a month, and they've actually got a website. Their blog is actually about blogging, which is absolutely crazy. You know, they're people who are interested in knowing how to blog. They've got a site called Create and Go. It's a good site. You know, they're talking about what they do, how they monetize their site. All they're doing is they're sharing information. Yeah, they're sharing their information. Yeah, and they're not being like big-headed. They're showing what they've done. They've gone through the process of how they've done this, how they've then put advertisements on their site, how they've linked it, and it's not difficult. Yeah, it's not difficult. That's the bit I'm trying to get over here. What is difficult is if you don't really want to do it, you're going to struggle to find the motivation to do it. Yeah, because it takes time. I'm doing a blog at the moment about um, I've actually wrote an article about the importance of reading. Yeah, and I've actually talking about some of the books that I'm reading, that I've read, sorry, to obviously become a greater person, if you like, or a more educated person anyway. And then what I'm going to do in my blog, I'm going to list the books, and then I'm going to start linking the books that I've listed to my Amazon Associates account. So if people read my article and then they're interested in knowing more about a specific book that I've read, they can then click on my link and go to Amazon and buy it. And guess who gets paid? Me. Yeah. And this is something which obviously you can do once you've got a blog. Yeah, but you don't want to just smother it in links. That ain't the way to do it. It's to do it in a way that you are genuinely helping people. Like in my actual article, I've actually wrote down. I've not actually published that one yet. I've actually wrote down that, you know, if you haven't got the money to buy the book, or to obviously get it on Audible where you hear the book, if you haven't got the money, go on YouTube, research the subject that you want to learn about. Go to your local library. Yeah, there's a mine of information on the internet, free information. Yeah, so I actually wrote that. Obviously, being sincere, I've actually written that in my article, and to obviously advise people that they can do that, because your end result, or for me anyway, and what I've been learning about obviously doing this blogging business, is to obviously provide information, provide useful content, helpful content. Yeah, whatever it is. I mean, I was sitting there thinking earlier about what other things I could write about. You know, I thought about just before the video, I was thinking about people that might have suffered domestic abuse. Now, obviously, me and my partner, you know, that's thankfully not been the case. But there's people that are suffering from domestic abuse. There's people that have got problems as a result of what happened to them years ago. Yeah. Are you someone that's been through this? If you have, could you write about that? Yeah. Could you provide guidance to people who have been through this, horrible event? You know, what can you do to improve other people's situations, but at the same time helping yourself? Yeah, helping yourself. But it starts with helping others. That's something my neighbour, I mentioned it in another video. I had a neighbour years ago. He moved away. He moved to Spain, and I remember him saying to me, "Do you read, Colin?" I said, "Well, I do read." I said, He said, "You want to be reading like a book a week?" The geezer was like, and the more I listened to this guy, it was him really that kind of steered me the way I'm going now. And he actually said to me, and you've probably heard it on 100 other videos that are aimed at personal development, or educational things like I'm trying to do, and that is, he said to me, if you help other people, he said, that money will come flooding back to you. He said, but don't expect it to come to you right away. He said, because it don't work like that. He said, look in, he actually said to me, look at your life, the love that you get from your family. It's as a result of what you've done. Usually it's what you've put out there. It's what time and effort you've put into going to work. Yeah? These people that have done well and have got everything, yeah? Don't be envious of them. Think, what sacrifice have they made to bring that back? Yeah? What good have they done to bring that back? Yeah? You don't get anything unless you put something out there. And that's what I'm trying to get over on my channel. That you cannot expect, no one's got. I've come to the conclusion the other day, whatever situation whatever situation I'm in, whether it's good or bad, no one's going to help me, because everybody's too busy worrying about and helping themselves. They're not worried. No one's worried about you. Yeah, so you need to do it for yourself, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I said to my wife, I don't care if it don't work. I'm doing it because what I get out of it, it ain't just all about money. Yeah, I know so many people, money rules their life, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that. If I didn't say that for a big part of my life, it didn't rule mine. But it don't rule my life now. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't rule my life now. If someone said to me tomorrow, "What do I want?" it would be to be able to provide for my children, to make sure my kids are all right. Yeah, I'm not really worried. Yeah, but this is why I'm doing my blog, and you need to have the same sort of mindset, the same sort of drive, if you like, before you start doing yours. But don't, if you want to do it, do it. Yeah. The other thing you're going to come across, which I've not, because I've only just, this is the first time I've actually mentioned my blog, is you're going to come across people that are, if you like, put a downer on what you're doing. I don't listen to them no more. It's their opinion. Yeah, I just don't listen to these people no more. Yeah, if you create a blog, you're doing it. You need to do it for the right reason. Do it because you want to do so, because you want to do it, because you're passionate about whatever it is you want to do, and you want to try and hopefully help people. Yeah. Then if your blog starts doing well, and you do start obviously seeing lots of traffic to it, then yeah, start making some money out of it. There's nothing wrong with making money. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with making money. I would, and I would always, I mentioned in another video, I talk about how sometimes people say, money don't make you happy. And I always answer them people, I always say to them, it's like oxygen though, isn't it? You need it. Yeah. So, if you can think of a way of it dropping in your lap, and if you think blogging might be for you, if you think that you could do it, you could work on your blog for like 6 months or a year and not see anything from it. If you're willing to do that, then do it. It's just a little bit of time. Yeah, it's just a little bit of time. But I think it's time well spent. I really do. I said to my boy, when my boy first started talking to me about YouTube, and it might, we often talk about it, and I said to him, he said, like, Dad, you're doing YouTube, why are you doing it? I said, well, Dad, he's interested in obviously making videos and trying to help people, and obviously, hopefully, something happened with my YouTube. And I actually said to him as well, I said to him, do you know the other reason I do it? He went, why, Dad? I said, so you've got a memory of me. I said, so you can actually, you've actually got me, and you can actually watch me when I'm not around. Yeah, that to me is a big enough reason. I've made him promise. I know he will anyway. He said to me, he said, Dad, he said, I watched your videos anyway. And I always say to him, I'm glad you did. Nobody else does. No, I'm joking. I always say to him, like, for me, it's important. It's important. I'm trying to give help and guidance and advice to anybody that wants to watch my videos. But the most important people are in my life, it's my 2 kids. And I said to my Charlie, I said to him, you promised me. He said, Dad, he said, I will watch them. He said, I'll watch them anyway. He says he often watches them when he can't get asleep. Joking, but he's I have a bit of fun with him. But what I'm trying to say is back to what this is about. Be positive about your life. If you want to start blogging, be positive about it, and don't let any Mr. Negative, put their spoke in it. I know people, around me who are a lot cleverer than me. They're a lot cleverer than me, and they've done very little with their life. They've done very little with their how they could expand their mind, if you know what I mean. They might have money, but they could have done more. Yeah, and I think you've got to be a certain sort of person to be that way. You've got to generally want to be able to help people, but I think it's a good way to be. And if you're struggling with what to write your blog about, I would suggest you go down the road of helping people. Yeah, if you can do something, advice, something where you can help people, and give them advice on different things. It could be like a blog about dieting. I'm even going to do that. I'm going to start talking about writing about obviously have like a health section on my blog where I start writing about how many calories, for example, a man should eat, how many calories a woman should eat. What could you be eating? What are good foods to eat? This is all information, and yes, there's a lot of this information already out there, but it doesn't mean that you can't have your say. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you cannot have your say. Yeah, my daughter. I was trying to inspire my daughter the other day about it because I said to her, she's actually a vegan, and obviously, being a vegan, she has to buy certain foods and rice milk and soya milk and all these different things that she don't eat. And I said to her, you don't realise. I said, but what you know about being a vegan, I said, is great content. Now there's loads of people, obviously there's blogs all about becoming a vegan, what you eat, where you can shop to be a vegan, whether you buy clothes, what clothes you buy, obviously are they made from animal products. And I said to her, all what you know, I said, all you've got to do is write it down. I said, and if you don't want to sit and type it out and sit and write about it, I said, if you just write down what it is you're eating or where you buy, I said, Daddy will sit and write about it for you. Yeah. What I'm trying to get at here is that there's a story with every part of your life. There ain't nothing. When if someone said to me, I don't know what to blog about, I'd laugh at them. I'd say, really? Really? Well, you don't know what to write about? Well, you can't write about your day. You couldn't write about what happened in your day. You couldn't write about a problem that you faced. You know what I mean? I thought about one. Someone very close to me is in the police force. And I thought about a blog the other day, an idea, policeman stories. Now I've not looked online, but I'm guessing there's probably one online about perhaps a guy that was perhaps an ex-copper, and he's writing about some funny things that happened throughout his career. And there's loads of people that would be interested in that. Yeah, it's like funny jokes. I know, and this is what we've got to do. We've got to expand our mind. Expand what we've got within our mind. Yeah. If you don't know what to write about, sit down and write down your life from the day you were born, from when you can remember until present day. Write down things that have happened to you, and all this stuff, all this content you can put into a blog, and there's people who want to read it. Yeah. Yeah. It's like me. I've done videos on YouTube about obsessive compulsive disorder, of which I am I've had it bad. I've had it throughout my life. I've had it times when it's been almost been crippling for me, and I could sit and write about that all day long. I'm gonna write as we get off. When I get off this video now, I'm actually gonna sit and start writing another article at the minute, because I've had some ideas as I've been talking on this video. Yeah. You've literally got to open up your mind to the possibilities. I'm just going to mention, if you need a bit of inspiration, I'm just going to mention about a woman that I was watching the other day, and I really apologise, I cannot recall her name, but I watched a video on YouTube. It was all about blogging, and this woman, she is she was a lady out in America, and she started a finance blog. She was a financial advisor, this lady. She knew all about, pension plans, and in America how their government work, their taxation and all that. And it didn't show her blog, but she was being interviewed about what she actually writes about, and she was going over some of the content that she was talking about. Now this woman's been doing it for I think it's 3 years. Her blog earns her over 100 grand a month. Yeah, takes a bit of believing, but it's true. $100,000 per month. Yeah, and all she's doing, she's just writing about things that she knows about, and she's talking about, situations, how she can help people. And people are obviously, where it's getting more traffic and people are sharing her content, then obviously, there people are getting, it's getting reshared, and before she knows it, and obviously she's putting adverts on her site. She's even creating her own courses now, how to actually do blogging and earn money from it. Yeah, she's actually bought on her own site. You can actually buy a course how she's actually done it. And like she said, she's all she does is sits and writes. Yeah, you haven't got to be a great novelist. You've just got to believe about what it is you're interested in, believe in it, and write about it, and do it consistently, and upload consistently. If you do that, and your content is reasonably good, yeah, and Google will tell you that, yeah. This thing that I'm through, it's an affiliate company where I actually host my sites. I'm going to do a video about it. They actually let you host sites for free, and you actually can actually go through into your back office and actually see how your Google are actually marking your content. Yeah, and so far I've had, I think my actual content it said 100%, and then it says like site trust. I think it said 10%. That's because not enough people have actually visited my site yet. But and then it says about indexed by Google, and it actually shows you how Google are indexing your site, and you can actually click on it and go to the actual description that Google have actually indexed your site from. Yeah. But it all comes from that magical word, and that word is content. Yeah, good content. Ain't got to be great, but it's got to be, it's got to be good. The English has got to be reasonably good. I'll just mention quickly, if you are going to get into doing blog writing, and you ain't, I obviously I can spell reasonably well. I've been at college and all that, but I'm not the greatest at English. But so what I do now, I write all my content. I write on a site called Grammarly, Grammarly.com, and then as you're writing it, Grammarly is actually marking and actually telling you what words you're spelling wrong, which is good because you can actually write down words. In some way, sometimes you can just write down a word almost how it sounds like, because Grammarly picks it up, and then you can just click on it and turn it to the word that you want it to be. Yeah, that is a brilliant way. It saves time. Yeah, and then all I do then is save it as a document, and then I just publish it into my WordPress site, go over it all again, do all my links, all what I've got to do, link it to my other pages. I've linked a lot of my pages to my YouTube channel, and then once you're happy with it and you've read it and you've perhaps got someone else to read it, or it's reasonably good, you can then publish it. And then all you got to do then is, what I do is I'll often read an article and I'll go over it again, and if I want to change that article, um, I can just go into edit and I can just change it. If I want to do it slightly different, or if I want to add to it, then you can do that. It's brilliant. Like with this book thing, I've read quite a few books on personal development. I've not actually started writing down what they are yet, or building the links, but I've actually said in the article this will be an ongoing thing, So as I read more books, I can add that book, if I think it's a good book, to my list and then link it again to Amazon. So you could end up having 100, who knows, 10 years time, I might have 100 books on there. Yeah, and they're all being linked back. And obviously that article is getting longer and it's creating more content. Yeah, it's I'm not a professional, but I've literally started doing my blog, I think it was a couple of months ago. But you'd be amazed how you can sit and write to actually come up with content. It's very difficult though. Just again, very quickly, if you are going to sit and write, make sure. Yeah, you might think it's common sense, but I was sitting the other day writing it. I had my earphones on and I was sitting writing an article in the front room, and the telly was on. My daughter was watching the TV, and I kept looking down, and then I was doing it, and then I was thinking, oh no, and I'll do it another way, and it was because the telly was on. I said to my little girl, well, little girl, she's 22 now. I said, Daddy's just going to go in the other room, bub. I said, because I'm trying to get this thing done. And I literally went in the other room. I closed the door. I kept my earphones on, so it was obviously giving me more chance to concentrate. And I wrote this article in 40 minutes. Yeah, but trying to write it while I'm sitting there and one eye's watching Brooklyn 999. It's really difficult. So don't